The most dangerous win you'll ever experience in trading is the one you didn't earn. Because a lucky profit doesn't teach discipline, it teaches delusion. It tells you the game is easy, that you're built differently, that rules are optional. And that is exactly how the market sets its trap. Not by taking your money first, but by giving you some. The market has two types of teachers: pain, which teaches the truth, and luck, which teaches the illusion. When a beginner loses money, it hurts, yes, but that pain activates awareness. It forces the trader to slow down, to study, to question everything. Was my entry wrong? Did I ignore my stop? Was I trading a setup, or my emotions? Loss introduces respect. Respect creates caution. And caution builds structure, the very foundation real traders stand on. But luck skips every stage of development. It hands a newborn trader the trophy before they've learned how to walk. A lucky win never tells you the truth. It never reveals how volatile, irrational, or brutal the market can be. Instead, it whispers the most seductive lie in trading. You're naturally talented, others struggle because they're not you. At that moment, you don't become confident. You become uncoachable. Because why would someone who just won feel the need to improve? Why study charts when success came without effort? Why respect risk when your first experience said there's nothing to fear? That's the psychology trap. Pain teaches survival, but luck convinces you that survival skills are unnecessary. And long before the next trade is placed, the real damage has already begun. Not in the account, but in the mindset. Beginner's luck doesn't feel like a warning, feels like a promotion. In that moment, the charts seem simple, the candles look friendly, and every move the market makes feels like it was designed to validate your decisions. You don't see randomness, you see confirmation. You start thinking in big numbers, bigger trades, bigger dreams. Suddenly, you're not a beginner anymore, you're a natural. And that first lucky win doesn't just boost confidence. It rewrites your identity at lightning speed. From a curious student to future market prodigy, your imagination gets ahead of your experience. If I did this without really knowing anything, imagine what I can do once I learn. And from that point, you're no longer trading what's on the screen. You're trading the fantasy you built in your head. Beginner's luck is powerful because it doesn't just make you believe in profit. It makes you believe you deserve it. And that belief, once it gets rooted, becomes harder to unlearn than any strategy ever created. This is where the danger really begins. The first lucky win isn't just a profit. It's a subtle invitation. It whispers, you're ready, you're skilled, you don't need to follow the rules. Suddenly, risk feels optional. Stops are suggestions. Position sizing, overrated. You think, the market likes me. It will reward me again. And with that thought, the first seeds of overconfidence take root. The hidden trap isn't a bad trade. It's your mindset after the trade. You start chasing adrenaline instead of analyzing probability. You take bigger positions because the memory of that lucky win makes fear seem irrelevant. And here's the cruel twist. The market doesn't care about your ego. It doesn't know or respect beginners, prodigies, or lucky gamblers. Every lucky win plants a subtle lie. That skill can be replaced by luck. That rules can be replaced by instinct. And as the illusion grows, reality waits patiently. For every trader seduced by beginner's luck, the market eventually asks the same question. Were you lucky, or were you ready? And if you weren't ready, the answer comes in the form of a loss, often bigger than the first win ever was. After the first lucky win, the next trade feels different. Not because the market changed, but because you did. You start chasing the thrill, holding positions longer than reason allows, increasing size as if the market owes you a repeat performance. Every small loss stings more than before, because it clashes with the memory of your first effortless win. You begin to ignore the rules that once protected you. Stops become optional. Risk management feels restrictive. Discipline seems boring. And then it happens. Your trades are no longer based on probability. They're based on hope. Hope that the market will reward your boldness. Hope that your first win wasn't a fluke. Hope that you're somehow untouchable. But hope is not a strategy. Confidence without preparation is not skill. One by one, your positions unravel. Losses pile up, and suddenly the first win, the one you celebrated, the one you framed in your mind as proof, looks less like a triumph and more like a warning sign you ignored. The downward spiral isn't dramatic at first. It's subtle, quiet, seductive, until one day you look at your account and realize, luck doesn't compound, discipline does. Here's the truth most beginners never see. The market doesn't reward luck. It rewards preparation, patience, and consistency. That first lucky win, it wasn't proof of skill. It was a random event, a spark in a system that doesn't owe you anything. Skill isn't measured in profits. It's measured in how you respond to failure and how you maintain discipline when success comes by accident. A lucky win teaches the wrong lessons if you let it. That rules are optional. That risk doesn't matter. That confidence is more important than strategy. But the reality is harsh and patient. The market doesn't reward your ego. It doesn't care about your first win. Only your process, your habits, and your mindset will determine whether you survive and eventually thrive. Beginner's luck is seductive because it feels like validation. But validation is cheap. Skill is expensive. Earn trade by trade, loss by loss, lesson by lesson. The first step after a lucky win should not be celebrating, but reflecting. Real traders don't chase luck. They chase consistency. Every trade should be evaluated, every mistake documented, every emotion understood. A lucky win is a lesson only if you approach it with humility. Only if you ask yourself, did I earn this? Or did the market gift it to me? Confidence is earned. Discipline is earned. Luck is fleeting, but habits are permanent. The correct mindset shift is simple yet powerful. Experience over outcome. Celebrate learning, not profit. Celebrate control, not chance. Celebrate preparation, not fortune. Because the trader who builds skill after a lucky win will survive when luck disappears, and the trader who ignores it will fall not because the market is cruel, but because their mind were unprepared. Remember, beginner's luck isn't a blessing or a curse. It's a test of your mindset, and what you choose to learn from it determines everything. So, if your first win was lucky, good. Smile, enjoy it, but don't let it define you. Luck is temporary. Skill is permanent. Easy beginnings create hard lessons, but hard beginnings create legendary traders. The market doesn't care about your feelings, your ego, or your excitement. It only respects preparation, discipline, and humility. A lucky win can make you arrogant, or it can make you wise. The difference lies entirely within you. Remember, the greatest traders aren't the ones who were lucky. They are the ones who learned from their wins, and even more from their losses.